Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thanks very much for watching the earwax removal video today. Just one patient in this video, both ears being done. Make sure you stay tuned for the second ear, it's a really good one. So what you can see here, we've got this really sticky nature to this wax. Now this lovely lady we squeezed in, she had a wedding coming up and we desperately wanted to get her in so she could get her ears clean first, ready for the wedding. But what you can see here is the wax has gone really sticky. We're pulling on a little bit of dry skin here. Now this is quite common when you get this kind of sticky type earwax. Don't forget that the oils that the wax kind of absorbs and sucks up on the way out of the ear canal to keep it nice and soft are produced on the outer third of the canal. Now some people produce a lot of that kind of oil, some produce very little of it. And what you end up with then, when you produce very little of it, you end up with this much drier skin layer around the outside edge of the ear canal, and that tends to dry out the wax surrounding it, giving it this stickier nature. Now, what we're doing first of all is removing a lot of that dry skin at the base of the canal, because if the skin is lifted slightly and the wax is very sticky, it sticks around it and holds onto it really tightly, and it makes it really difficult to get this out. Now, the patient never ever had earwax removal before. The lady was sort of in her 70s, so she never really had anything like this done before, so was very nervous, bless her, coming through. So we're sticking with the suction tube to start with. Obviously, this is what we've explained to the patient we're going to use. They're more familiar with this, and I tend to find if a patient's a little bit nervous, trying to stick with the same tool tends to be a little bit easier because they build a bit of confidence in what you're doing as well using that tool. So you can see now we've got this stickier nature, these little bits of dry skin. You can see we've got another bit of dry skin and sticky wax just starting to pull away there. You can see it teasing from the top of the canal there and coming away quite nicely. There we are. I'm just pulling that, there we go, lovely bit of dry skin. That was sitting over the top of that wax there, so just around the surrounding edge. So you do tend to find with this, you will get lots of these, they're almost skin ribbons. I did have one in this video I thought was going to be a really good little skin ribbon, but it just broke off a little bit, but I won't spoil it, that's coming a bit later on. So you can see we're just pulling this down now, getting this stickier stuff around from the outside edge. There we go. And if we go back in now, we're just starting to lift. We're just getting a little bit of movement on the outer part of the ear canal. And as you can see, as we're breaking this down, then we're creating little gaps in that ear canal from the surrounding wax. You can see another long dry skin, almost a skin ribbon coming away there. So as we're pulling this, it's actually feeding over the top of the wax. You can see the tail end of it just interspersed. As we're pulling this, look how it's pulling on the surface. Now, I know you can see the cilia there right in front of you. Because the ear canal was quite narrow and the wax was right to the outside edge, we have to drop the endoscope. Ooh, look at that coming away. We have to drop the endoscope back a little bit to be able to accommodate the tools in there, which has unfortunately dropped us back beyond the cilia a little bit there, but we do go in a bit deeper as we clear a bit further in now. I know this is a bit of a lot of people say, oh, just trim the hair, but they do such an important job. They stop any bigger bits of dirt and debris getting into the ear canal. Oh, there's another, I keep getting distracted, sorry guys, another nice long pull. You can see that long strip of skin. Look how this is coming away here. This is what I meant, we almost had a couple of skin ribbons coming away there, but we're getting rid of all this dry skin around the outside edge. It's still coming, there we go, you can see the tail end of it. Look at that coming away. If that would stay together in one piece, that would have been a really impressive skin ribbon coming away there. So I've completely lost my train of thought as what I was telling you before I got distracted. Yes, cilia, I'm sorry. They stop the bigger bits of dirt and debris from getting inside the ear canal. So they do have a really important job, is to help the ear health and maintenance, really. So you can just about see lots of skinnier bits of skin and wax coming away. There we are. Now we've got past the cilia. We're just getting past that. What I'm doing here is most of those chunks you saw taken away there were central chunks. So it's taken away the center of the wax. I'm just tidying up around the outside edge a little bit here as well. It helps me when you get a bit deeper. Look at that one coming away. That's a good skin ribbon there. That's lovely. So we're just taking off the side of the canal. You can see we've got much deeper. Bottom left-hand corner there, just going into the suction machine. Now you can see these lifts of skin that we're getting all the way down, long strips of dry skin, which are actually separated from the layer underneath. There we go. And I just need to breathe for a second and then we'll carry on. But you can see we've got a good grip there. There we are, it's starting to detach now. Now the reason we had to get rid of that bit of skin first, we just popped a little bit of olive oil in here to help it along as well. If we'd done that earlier, it would have really coated the cilia. But somebody did come up with a really good suggestion, which I have managed to try, which is to use a Q-tip just on the cilia on the outside edge to take that oil off, and it worked fantastically. So thank you so much. See, you guys are teaching me now. So it worked really, really well for me to get in there and get the veal without sacrificing it by using olive oil. So a great, great tip. Thank you so much, whoever suggested. I wish I could remember who suggested it, and I really can't. I'm sorry. But you can see now we've got very, very deep in the canal. Look how far back this wax has gone, right down on top of the eardrum here. So you can see why this patient was really, really struggling, bless him. So we're just going to take this section away very, very slowly, because this is that, you can see that jump. Do you see that movement there to the ear canal, which is why it's so important that you maintain your bridge, sorry, with the little fingers against the patient's head, because this was actually really deep. It was uncomfortable. As it started to move, it made the patient jump. So you can see we've got a good grip on this bottom section. Out this deeper, much, much deeper sticky plug comes. There we go. I've slowed this down so you can see it almost a little bit of a casing of dry skin underneath as well. And we take a look behind that. There we go. You can see the eardrum. So what we have left here is little bits of oil all around the outside edge. Now, with the patient being really jumpy as they were towards the end of that suction, I saw there was little point in taking that oil away. It doesn't do any harm. The patient can hear much better, but because it is really close to that, obviously sitting right on top of the canal wall in the more sensitive part of the ear as well, that would have been more dangerous to try and remove it than it is just to leave it, and it'll come away with the next bath or shower. Now, second ear. This is a really good, I love this one. So basically what we have here is a really sticky type earwax, and it's, we're giving it a good old wiggle, not quite wiggling my socks off or turbo wiggling this time, but just a little bit of a wiggle on the outside edge there, and you can see it starts to detach, but it looks like it's quite a solid plug. So as I'm moving it, I can see the whole thing has just started to get a little bit of movement to it, so it's just starting to detach, but I'm trying to free up the outside edge, get it off the cilia, so we got a better chance of getting this out in one plug if we can. Oh, stay tuned for this. It's such a good one. I really enjoyed this one. So you can see it now, just teasing around the outside edge. Jobson horn comes in. Watch what happens when we put the Jobson horn in. We get over the top of this wax and we start to pull this forwards. And what I start to notice is that the wax, there's not a lot of give in it. So as it starts to come forwards, we can see the whole thing starting to slide. Take a look at this coming out now. So as we pull this forwards, we've got a good grip on that wax there. The whole thing's coming out. Watch this as it comes away. So you can see, there we are. That's the front end. And it's still going, and it's still going. And it's still going. There we go. The whole plug came out in one big chunk. You can see the eardrum there. On both eardrums, we've got this sort of this creamy color on the eardrum. It's a little bit of scarring on the eardrum. Look at that plug. We've got, oh my goodness, I'm trying to read this upside down. 2 centimeters. Oh, inches. I wish it was in the right place. I'm going to say that's about 1.5 inches, I think, 2 centimeters thereabouts. What do we have all together? That's about 2.5 inches, I think. There's about 6 centimeters. So yeah, a fair old amount. And that one plug came out that one ear. See, I told you it was worth waiting for, didn't I? Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did voicing over. It is Friday, so we all got that Friday feeling today. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. I hope you have a really nice time. As always, take care of your ears, take care of yourselves, and take care of one another. And I'll see you again on Monday. As always, guys, bye.